Hello students, welcome to Kenes Educare, a group of Kenes Solution. Now, in this session, we are going to consider lesson number 8 from class 7 standard, that is a static electricity. So let's talk about the static electricity. Now, what is electricity? ये electricity word हमने पहले भी पढ़ा है. हम घर में generally electricity word use करते हैं. We use the electricity for various purpose. We have refrigerator, we have a microwave, we have a ironing machine, we have a cooler, we have a AC. So all this works on the electricity. But in this session, we are going to consider the static electricity. What is the static electricity? Let's talk about that. So let's recall. Okay, do you have experience of the instances given below? Which are this? A plastic comb or a ruler rubbed on dry hair attracts pieces of paper. Okay, अगर plastic comb को अगर आप rub करते हो hair पे, it will attract the small pieces of paper. And if we pass near a polyester curtain again and again, it gets attracted towards it. If we rub blanket with our hands, take and to the metal, a spark is seen in the dark. Okay, अगर आप ब्लैंकेट को भी रब करते हो एट दैट टाइम देयर स्पार्क इज क्रिएटेड. तो ये सब क्या है? दीज आर नथिंग बट द पार्ट ऑफ द स्टैटिक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. You can able to see the hair comb which is rubbed on the hair. It is attracting small pieces. Even you can able to see the in general how the rod is attracting the small pieces of paper if it is get rubbed. Now what is a charge? तो इस पे सब पे एक क्वांटिटी रहती है, दैट इज अ चार्ज. चार्ज इज क्रिएटेड. ओके, हेयर कॉम जब आप रब करते हो ऑन द हेयर कॉम, चार्ज इज क्रिएटेड एंड दैट चार्ज अट्रैक्ट्स द स्मॉल पीसेस ऑफ पेपर. सो व्हाट इज दिस चार्ज? ये चार्ज क्या है? It is also known as the electric charge. Electric charge or electrostatic charge and symbolize Q is characteristics of a unit of matter that expresses the extent to which has more or fewer electrons than the protons. So it is simply charge is what it will show you how the electrons, it has a more or a fewer electrons than the protons. मतलब इलेक्ट्रॉन ज्यादा है या कम है वो हम कंसिडर करते हैं इन केस ऑफ चार्ज. ओके, now, in atom, electron carries a negative elementary charge or a unit charge and the proton carries a positive charge. There are two types of charges. We know that positive charge and the negative charge. Both are equal and opposite. These charges are present. So जब भी हम किसी भी बॉडी को इलेक्ट्रिकली चार्ज बोलते हैं, that means there would be excess of electron or fewer of electron. मतलब या तो इलेक्ट्रॉन ज्यादा होगी या तो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कम होंगे. Talking about the charge, there are two charges. Positive charge, one who loses its electron and becomes positively charged. मतलब किसी भी एटम में पॉजिटिव चार्ज एंड नेगेटिव चार्ज रहता है. जब भी वो बॉडी नेगेटिव चार्ज को देती है तो उस पे आ जाता है पॉजिटिव चार्ज, बिकॉज उसके नेगेटिव चार्ज तो चले जाएंगे एंड इट विल हैव ओनली पॉजिटिव चार्ज. तो उस बॉडी को हम बोलेंगे पॉजिटिवली चार्ज बॉडी. What is a negative charge? Which gain the electron. मान लो one object which is having positive charge and negative charge, if he takes the electrons from another object, okay, so there will be excess of electron. Excess of electron मतलब ज्यादा negative charge रहेगा and उसको हम बोलेंगे negatively charged body. एक बात तो हमेशा हमें याद रखनी है that whenever we are considering a positive charge, whenever we are considering a negative charge, positive and negative always there is a attraction. Positive and negative हमेशा attraction रहता है and if you consider positive there will be a repulsion, negative there will be a repulsion. Okay, so repulsion मतलब वो एक दूसरे के साथ अट्रैक्ट नहीं होते, दे विल गो अवे फ्रॉम ईच अदर. लाइक अट्रैक्शन में दे विल कम टुवर्ड्स ईच अदर. so this is about the positive charge and negative charge. Now always remember protons are positively charged. किसी भी एटम में प्रोटॉन्स रहते हैं, they are present inside the nucleus, they are positively charged. इलेक्ट्रॉन रहते हैं वो नेगेटिवली चार्ज रहते हैं, they always revolve in a circular manner And talking about the neutrons, they are chargeless, उनके पास charge नहीं होता. That means atom has nucleus. Nucleus में हमेशा रहता है positive charge, which is a proton. It has a neutron which has no charge, and there are electrons which revolve around the nucleus. This is about the atom. Now, talking about the electric charge. What do the above observation tells us? These examples are just a glimpse of the electric charge. So electric charge क्या है and how it is present and how it is created. These are some examples. All substances are made up of very tiny particles. सभी substance जो रहते हैं, they are made up of small particles. Electric charge is an intrinsic property of these particles. Though and the way electric charge is abundantly present, it is always in the hidden state. Okay, it is an intrinsic property. वो किसी भी particle की intrinsic property है, मतलब उसमें इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज abundantly present रहेगा, but that will be in the hidden state. आप पता नहीं कर सकते. And this is because two opposite types of charge are present in equal number in all substance. मतलब जितने positive charge रहते हैं उतने ही negative charge रहता है. And when positive charge and the negative charge on an object are balanced, the object is said to be neutral. जब पॉजिटिव चार्ज एंड नेगेटिव चार्ज इक्वल होता है तब हम कहते हैं द ऑब्जेक्ट इज न्यूट्रल. एंड इफ दिस चार्ज आर नॉट बैलेंस, द ऑब्जेक्ट इज सेड टू बी चार्ज. अगर ये चार्जेस बैलेंस नहीं है तो हम कंसिडर करते हैं द ऑब्जेक्ट इज सेड टू बी चार्ज. कोई तो कौन सा भी चार्ज ज्यादा रहेगा. ओके, या तो प्रोटॉन रहेंगे या तो इलेक्ट्रॉन उस पे ज्यादा रहेंगे. Now we are going to try this activity. How would two charged objects interact with each other? Rub one end of a glass rod against a silk cloth. हमें क्या करना है? We have to consider one end of a glass rod. ये glass rod है. इस ग्लास रॉड को मुझे सिल्क क्लोथ पे रब करना है. Now whenever I am rubbing this rod on a silk cloth, okay, the small charge will get transferred from one object to another, and as a result both the object will become somewhat charged. तो ये जो सिल्क का क्लोथ है वो भी चार्ज होगा एंड ये रॉड भी चार्ज हो जाएगा. Now what we have to do? Suspend this rod freely in the air with the help of thread. Now charge another glass rod in the same manner and bring it to the suspended rod. तो मैं और एक ऐसा ग्लास रॉड है उसको चार्ज कर रही हूँ, अगेन रबिंग ऑन द सिल्क, एंड आई एम सिंपली उनको क्लोज ला रही हूँ. तो उस केस में दिस टू ग्लास रॉड will repel each other. If they are showing repulsion, that means there must be a similar charge on this two glass rod. That's why because of these two similar charges, they are repelling each other. वो repel हो रहे हैं. Okay. What do you see? The two rod push each other away, and now take a plastic rod, rub one on its end against a woolen cloth. अभी हमें क्या करना है? We have to take a plastic rod and उसको हमें rub करना है woolen cloth पे. Okay, जब आप उसको woolen cloth पे rub करते हो, again this plastic rod will get charged, and we have to bring this plastic rod to the glass rod, and there will be attraction. तो इससे क्या पता चलता है? ग्लास रॉड हैज अ पॉजिटिव चार्ज and the plastic rod which is gaining a negative charge, and there is a positive and negative, there would be attraction. Simply the opposite charges get pulled towards each other, and this is called attraction. उसको हम बोलते हैं attraction. Now let's talk about the scientist. The scientist Benjamin Franklin named the electric charge positive charge and the negative charge. So Benjamin Franklin, who gave the term of the electric charges, that is there are basically two charge, one is a positive charge, another is a negative charge. What is the origin of this electric charge? Always remember, all substances are made up of particles, and these particles are ultimately made up of very tiny atoms. We shall looking at the details of the atomic structure later. अभी इस atomic structure के बारे में हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे. At this stage, it is sufficient to know that each atom combines a stationary positive charge and moving negative charge. Abhi considering only stationary positive charge and the moving negative charge. Positive charge हमेशा stationary रहता है, which is always present inside the nucleus, and negative charge हमेशा moving रहता है around the nucleus. And this two charge being perfectly balanced, an atom is electrically neutral. जितने पॉजिटिव चार्ज रहते हैं उतने ही नेगेटिव चार्ज रहते हैं, इसलिए द एटम इज सेड टू बी अ बैलेंस, बैलेंस रहता है, न्यूट्रल रहता है. Now, all the objects are made up of atoms, which mean that they are electrically neutral. Then how do objects becomes electrically charged? अगर हम objects की बात करें तो how they get electrically charged? Let's consider that now. For some reason, balance of electrically neutral atom get disturbed. For example, when a certain objects are rubbed on each other, the negatively charged particles on one object go to another object. तो हमने जो एग्जाम्पल कंसिडर किया था, वी हैड कंसिडर सिल्क. ओके, दिस वाज अ सिल्क क्लॉथ एंड द ग्लास रॉड. तो जब ग्लास रॉड एंड सिल्क कंसिडर किया था, whenever this glass rod was rubbed on the silk, at that time the negative charge on the glass rod was transformed on the सिल्क. तो वो किस पे ट्रांसफर हुआ था? सिल्क पे, एंड उस पे बन गया था नेट पॉजिटिव चार्ज. तो उस पे क्या था? पॉजिटिवली चार्ज. ओके, इसलिए वो पॉजिटिवली चार्ज बना. और जब वुलन क्लॉथ प्लास्टिक रॉड के साथ रब किया, एट दैट टाइम इसके ऊपर के नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लास्टिक रॉड पे चले गए एंड इट बिकेम नेगेटिवली चार्ज. तो जब भी ये रबिंग होता है एट दैट टाइम वो डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है, द इलेक्ट्रिकली न्यूट्रल गेट डिस्टर्ब. ओके, ड्यू टू द रबिंग, एंड सिंपली द नेगेटिव चार्ज पार्टिकल्स गेट ट्रांसफर फ्रॉम वन ऑब्जेक्ट टू अनदर. जैसे ग्लास रॉड के नेगेटिव चार्ज सिल्क पे गए, वैसे ही वुलन क्लॉथ के जो नेगेटिव चार्ज थे वो प्लास्टिक रॉड पे चले गए, and because of that the plastic rod which was a negatively charged and the glass rod which was a positively charged were getting attracted towards each other. The object to which they go become negatively charged due to an excess negatively charge. Okay, तो वो negatively charged बनते हैं just because there is a एक्सेस नेगेटिव चार्ज उनके ऊपर आता है. ऑलरेडी उनके ऊपर जो नेगेटिव चार्ज रहता है, या तो वो ट्रांसफर होगा, वो पॉजिटिवली चार्ज बनेगा, या तो नेगेटिव चार्ज किसी ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर का दूसरे ऑब्जेक्ट पे आएगा एंड इट वुड बी अ एक्सेस ऑफ नेगेटिव चार्ज. Similarly, the object from which the negatively charged particles go away and becomes positively charged due to deficiency of negatively charged. तो क्या होता है? जब नेगेटिवली चार्ज पार्टिकल्स गो अवे बिकम्स पॉजिटिव, तो ग्लास रॉड से जब नेगेटिव चार्ज चला गया तो वो बन गया पॉजिटिव. इट मीन्स दैट टू ऑब्जेक्ट्स बीइंग रब्ड, वन बिकम पॉजिटिवली चार्ज, जैसे ग्लास रॉड पॉजिटिव बना एंड वुलन क्लॉथ के नेगेटिव चार्ज प्लास्टिक रॉड पे आ गए एंड वो बन गया नेगेटिवली चार्ज. ओके, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू ट्राई दिस एक्टिविटी. Two material, paper, polythene, nylon cloth, cotton cloth, silk cloth. Okay, now what we have to do? First, take the object mentioned in the chart near some small pieces of paper and observe what happens. Then rub each of these two objects in turn against one of the given material and take it near the pieces of paper. Record your observation. Okay, तो बलून हमें कंसिडर करना है, बॉल पेन रिफिल कंसिडर करना है, इरेजर कंसिडर करना है, वुडन रूलर कंसिडर करना है, स्टील स्पून कंसिडर करना है, कॉपर स्ट्रिप कंसिडर करना है, एंड किस में रबिंग के बाद चार्ज क्रिएट करता है वो हमें कंसिडर करना है. आप ये एक्टिविटी घर पे बैठ के भी कर सकते हो. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, each atom is electrically neutral. सब atom electrically neutral रहते हैं. It has equal amount of positive and negative charge, and if for some reason the negative charge decreases, the atom become positive charge. अगर नेगेटिव चार्ज चला जाता है, द सब्सटेंस विल बिकम पॉजिटिवली चार्ज. अगर नेगेटिव चार्ज किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट का आता है, द सब्सटेंस विल बिकम positively charged, negatively charged. Now, Do you know about 2500 years ago, a Greek scientist named Thales found that feathers are attracted or a wrought yellow color and another amber which had been rubbed against the wooden cloth. The feathers get attracted towards a yellow color amber rod. Okay, and when it is rubbed against the woolen cloth. And amber is called electron in Greek language. Therefore, the property of amber to attract things was named as the electricity by Thomas Browne. So Thomas Browne was a scientist who gave this term electricity. He simply rubbed the feather and it is attracted to the amber which was rubbed against the woolen cloth. So amber was a rod and that's why amber is called electron and this is electron के वजह से the electricity term came to know. Now let's talk about the frictional electricity. Frictional electricity क्या है? The electric charge generated by friction is called frictional electricity. जो electric charge friction से produce होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं frictional electricity. And this charge is produced only at places of friction. जहाँ जहाँ friction होता है वहाँ वहाँ ये charge create होता है and उसको हम बोलते हैं static electricity. उसको नाम दिया है स्टैटिक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. इट रिमेन्स ऑन द ऑब्जेक्ट फॉर अ शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन के लिए वो रहता है एंड वो फ्रिक्शन की वजह से प्रोड्यूस होती है and the charges of static electricity are absorbed in the moisture, and this is why this experiments should be performed in dry weather and particularly in winter. तो इस वजह से what we do, we perform this experiment in dry weather, particularly in winter, because there would be a charges of static electricity are absorbed in the moist air. Now you can able to see this is how the frictional electricity is generated. One rod, okay, this is which is a positively charged rod. That means जो भी इसके negative charge है that is getting transformed to the another rod. Okay, and this negative charge is getting transferred to another object and this is becoming negatively charged object and another is becoming positively charged object. How this is happening? Simply by transferring the electron. जिस पे इलेक्ट्रॉन आ रहे हैं उसको हम बोलेंगे नेगेटिवली चार्ज, जिस पे पॉजिटिव चार्ज बन रहा है वो पॉजिटिवली चार्ज. Now, again, we are going to try this activity. Try this a few straws, woolen cloth, or you can consider socks or gloves, glass bottle. Place a straw on a bottle. Bottle पे हमें क्या करना है? We simply have to put a straw. Okay. Take another straw near it. Observe what happened. Leave the straw on the bottle as it is. Rub the other straw against the wooden cloth and take it to the near the straw on the bottle. Observe that what happens. Now take two straws and rub them against woolen cloth at the same time. Keep one of the straws on the bottle and take the another near it. See what happens. Keep the rubbed straws on the table as it is and take a wooden cloth on which it was rubbed close to it. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है, जब भी आप वुडन क्लॉथ को कंसिडर करते हो सो किस में रिपल्शन आएगा, किस में अट्रैक्शन आएगा, वो हम कंसिडर करते हैं. यहाँ पे देखो, ओके, पहले अभी इस एक्सपेरिमेंट को हमें क्या करना है, हमें चार्ट बनाना है तो हम डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे. सी, टेक अ स्ट्रॉ, प्लेस अ स्ट्रॉ ऑन बॉटल, टेक अनदर स्ट्रॉ नियर इट, ऑब्जर्व व्हाट हैपेंस. Leave the straw on the bottle as it is. Rub the other straw by against a woolen cloth. तो एक बॉटल पे ये स्ट्रॉ है, दूसरे स्ट्रॉ को हम वुलन क्लोथ पे रब कर रहे हैं. तो जब भी आप उस स्ट्रॉ को वुलन क्लोथ से रब करोगे तो वुलन क्लोथ का एक्सेस ऑफ नेगेटिवली चार्ज स्ट्रॉ पे आ जाएगा. ओके, नाउ टेक इट नियर द स्ट्रॉ ऑन द बॉटल. अभी क्या करना है, जो बॉटल पे स्ट्रॉ है उस पे हमें उस पे रखना है. तो उससे क्या होगा कि स्ट्रॉ जो है, द स्ट्रॉ विच इज रब ऑन द वुलन क्लॉथ विल बिकम अ चार्ज एंड एज द another straw which has kept on the bottle will possess the same charge and this straw will repel the another straw and there will be a rotation of the straw. Okay, अगर आप woolen cloth भी consider करते हो, in that case also there will be a two this two straws are rub on the same cloth, and that's why they will gain same charge, and because of that the like charge will repel each other. Okay, so charge a charged straw is taken near the uncharged straw. तो उस केस में अगर अनचार्ज स्ट्रॉ के पास अगर आप लेते हो तो उस केस में रिपल्शन नहीं होगा. ओके, बट टू स्ट्रॉज कैरिंग अ सिमिलर चार्ज देयर वुड बी अ रिपल्शन, बिकॉज उनमें कौन सा चार्ज है, दे हैव अ सेम चार्ज. Okay, a charged straw and the oppositely charged cloth which was used for rubbing. तो जब एक स्ट्रॉ एक अलग मटेरियल पे रब की, दूसरी स्ट्रॉ अलग मटेरियल पे रब की, एट दैट टाइम द अट्रैक्शन फाउंड. सो दैट मीन्स लाइक चार्ज रिपेल ईच अदर, अनलाइक चार्ज अट्रैक्ट ईच अदर. अगर चार्ज बॉडी अगर आप अनचार्ज स्ट्रॉ पे, सिंपली देयर विल बी अ ट्रांसफर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. Okay, so electrically charged objects attract uncharged object. There is a repulsion between the like charges and there is attraction between the unlike charges. तो जैसे हेयर कॉम का एग्जांपल हमने कंसिडर किया, तो हेयर कॉम if it is a rub, okay, it will start attracting the small pieces of paper. अगर एक straw charge है and दूसरी straw uncharged है, तो this charged straw will rub the will attract the uncharged straw. So there will be an attraction of uncharged straw by a charged straw. Now observe and discuss. Take a thermocol balls or a mustard seeds in a bottle and shake the bottle rigorously. The seeds try to move away from each other but stick to the bottle. Why does that happen? अभी ये क्यों होता है? Because again, when the thermocol or the mustard seeds get closer to each other, अगर हम उसको शेक करते हो तो उनमें फ्रिक्शन आ जाता है, and the similar substance will gain a similar charge and they won't get attract, they will repel with each other and try to stick with the bottle. Now to charge on object by contract, rub plastic comb against hair paper. Okay, तो प्लास्टिक को हमें किस पे रब करना है? पेपर पे. Touch this comb with another uncharged comb. Take the other comb near the some pieces of paper. What happens? Two charges an object by induction. Rub a comb or a balloon on your hair as shown in the figure. Okay. Take the comb near the thin trickle water and see the what happens. Now draw the hair comb away from the trickle. Okay. So obviously जब ये ऐसा होता है, like अगर आप two charges in contact लाते हो, what you do simply to charge an object by contact, rub a plastic comb against a paper, तो वो charge हो जाएगा. To charge an object by induction, अगर induction से करना है तो simply comb और balloon को hair पे rub करना है and simply we have to bring that to the trickle of water from the tap, तो water tap के पास लाना है. So it is simply the charge by induction, charge by the contact. Now mark your observations with a tick. When the charged comb is brought close to the flowing water, water gets attracted and remain as it is. Okay, अभी ये हमें observation करना है. When the charged comb is taken away from the flowing water, it gets attracted, ripple remains. ये हमें देखना है. First of all, as first the flow of water is not charged. The flow of water is not charged. When a negatively charged comb comes near the flowing water, the negatively charged particle in the nearest the comb are pushed away. Okay, तो आप क्या कर रहे हो? अगर जो comb है, the negatively charged comb, if it is brought near the flow of water, the negative charged particles in the nearest of the in the comb are pushed away. वो push किए जाते हैं. That part becomes positively charged due to the deficiency of negatively charged. तो वो जो part है that will become positively charged due to the deficiency of negative charge. The comb has negative and the water has a positively charged. तो उस केस में क्या होता है? The water becomes positively charged and comb becomes negatively charged, and due to this attraction between this opposite charges and flowing water get attracted to the comb. तो उस केस में क्या होता है, फ्लोइंग वाटर will start getting attracted towards the comb. When the comb is taken away, the negative particles in the flowing water come back to their original position and the positive negative charges become equal in number. तो जब आप हेयर कॉम्ब को पीछे लेते हो, the negative particles in flowing water comes back to the normal position, original position, and positive and negative charges becomes equal in number. As a result, the water becomes uncharged again and stops getting attracted to the comb as it is away from it. Okay. तो वाटर becomes uncharged again. अगर आप उससे फिर चार्ज हुआ को पीछे लेते हो तो फिर से वापस से अनचार्ज हो जाएगा. Now, why does a charged balloon stick to the wall? Okay, why does a charged balloon stick to the wall? क्यों होता है? Because there is a formation of charges, okay, and because of that it stick to the wall. Always remember, number of positively charged and the negative charge are equal on an uncharged neutral object. किसी भी neutral object पे, किसी भी uncharged object पे जो charge नहीं है, उस पे positive and negative charge same रहते हैं. The electric charge generated by induction stays only as long as the charge object near to it. तो इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज जो जनरेट होता है बाय इंडक्शन, इट स्टेज एज लॉन्ग एज द चार्ज ऑब्जेक्ट. तब तक ही रहेगा जब तक चार्ज ऑब्जेक्ट उसके पास है. Now we are going to try this activity. Keep a pen tube light in a dark place. Rub it vigorously with a thin polythene bag. What happens and why? When a uncharged aluminum ball is brought near the negatively charged balloon, the following things happen. As shown in the figure A, opposite charge is generated in the other object by induction and both the object get attracted to each other. तो अगर आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो एल्यूमिनियम बॉल, ओके, सो दिस इज एल्यूमिनियम बॉल एंड बलून. तो बलून एंड एल्यूमिनियम बॉल में अपोजिट चार्ज होते हैं एंड दे गेट अट्रैक्टेड टुवर्ड्स ईच अदर. ओके, and as shown in figure B, on touching both the object become similarly charged. जब वो टच होते हैं they will become similarly charged and they will get repel each other because there is a transfer of electron happens when they come in contact with each other. तो यहाँ पे this we are going to consider the gold leaf experiment now. So in case of gold experiment, what we are going to do, this is a very simple device to detect the electric charge on an object. It consists of copper rod which has a metal disc at the upper end and two thin gold leaves at the other. तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो, it is simply it has a copper rod at the upper end and यहाँ पे two thin gold sheets रहते हैं. They are very small foils of the gold leaves. And the rod is placed in the bottle so that disc is above the bottle. The rod जो है it is placed in the bottle and so that disc जो रहती है that is above the bottle. When an uncharged object is taken near the disc, the leaves remain closed. अगर आप उसके यहाँ कोई uncharged body लाते हो तो leaves remain same. Okay, it won't be open or it remains closed. When charged objects is taken near the disk, both the leaves are charged by the same electric charge and they repel each other, move away from each other. तो जब भी आप इस पे ऊपर कोई भी चार्ज ऑब्जेक्ट लाते हो, the gold leaves will gain the same charge. दोनों gold leaf same charge gain करेंगे and because of that there will be a repulsion. Okay, and this is simply the gold foil experiment. अगर आप इस बॉडी को निकालते हो from charge body is removed from the near end then they again remains closed, मतलब वो again discharge हो जाएंगे. Now we'll talk about the great scientist. In the year 1752, Benjamin Franklin conducted an experiment of flying kite with his son William. So William के साथ he did this work that he did an experiment of flying kite. The kite was made using silk cloth, deodar wood and the metal wire. तो यहाँ पे वो silk cloth की kite बनी थी, देवदार wood use किया था and metal wire की थी. The metal wire was joined in a such a way that its one end was at top of the kite and the other end was joined to the string of the kite. Okay, ऐसे डिजाइन की थी कि metal wire was joined at the end of the top of the kite and other जो end था that was joined to the string of the kite. There was a lightning in the sky the day the flew the kite. When the metal wire touched the cloud, the electric charge got transferred from the clouds to the kite, and the loose string of the kite became taut, and electric charge reached the earth through the string. And the spark was seen where the string touched the earth. This shows the lightning is in the form of electric charge. तो वेरी सिंपल एक्सपेरिमेंट ही डिड ओके वन एंड को उसने सिर्फ बस मेटल वायर ज्वाइन किया एंड दैट वाज स्टिक टू द स्ट्रिंग ऑफ द काइट काइट के स्ट्रिंग को वो टच किया तो लाइटनिंग में भी चार्ज है दैट चार्ज गॉट travel from the kite to the earth and he proved that the lightning has a electric charge. Now what about the atmospheric is electric charge. We have experienced clouds, thunder, and lightning. Sometimes we hear or read that lightning struck a tree or a building and some people or animal were killed. हमने ये बहुत बार सुना है कि थंडर गिरने से या फिर लाइटनिंग होने से देर आर द डेथ ऑफ द एनिमल्स ओके द डेथ ऑफ द human beings. Okay, why does it happen? So let's talk about the lightning. How can we prevent the injury or a death from a lightning? Lightning is what? Where air and cloud rub against each other in the sky. जब air and a cloud get rub each other and the upper part of some cloud on the upper side become positively charged and the lower side become negatively charged. तो cloud का upper part positively charged बन जाता है, lower part negatively charged बन जाता है. And the science behind the lightning and the lightning strike is complicated. Let us consider, therefore, we consider a cloud in the sky with negatively charged base above the plain ground. तो यहाँ पे क्लाउड का आधा भाग नेगेटिव चार्ज बन जाता है, ऊपर का भाग पॉजिटिव बन जाता है, and simply because of that the air get rub on this clouds and the lightning happens, spark बन जाता है. When this negative charge on the bottom of the cloud becomes much larger than the cloud on the ground, it starts flowing towards the ground in the stages. And this happens very fast, in such less than a second, and the light and sound energy is produced along with the electric charge. Electric charge to produce hota hi hai. Along with that, there is a production of sound also. But sound travels less as compared to light. इसलिए पहले हमें lightning दिखती है and उसके बाद में sound produce होता है. Now, a lightning strike. You probably know that when there is an electrically charged cloud in the sky are there, electricity is attracted towards a tall building or a tree. Okay, so simply it is advised not to stay under a tree when there is a lightning happens because it get attracted towards a tree. When the lightning strike, an opposite electric charge is generated on the roof on the building or the top of tree by induction. तो ट्री पे भी वो चार्ज आ जाता है and due to this attraction between the two oppositely charged cloud, lightning charge on the cloud flows towards the building. तो जो ये oppositely charge बन जाता है and because of that lightning charge flow towards the building and this is called lightning strike. उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Lightning strike because the clouds are charged in the sky and that is get attracted towards a tall building. Okay, tall building पे वो गिरते हैं and there is a opposite charge is created on the roof of the building and that simply the charge get travels to the building and lightning happens. Now, what kind of damage is caused by the lightning strike? What measures will you take to prevent a damage caused by the lightning? तो यहाँ पे simply यहाँ पे in general the we can use the rod, the iron rod which is throughout from the terrace to the ground that will uh, absorb the excess of charge produced by anything and that will directly given to the ground. Now, do you know due to the tremendous heat and the light generated by lightning, a chemical reactions occurs between the nitrogen and oxygen. तो जब भी ट्रिमेंडस हीट की वजह से लाइट की वजह से जो एयर में नाइट्रोजन है एंड ऑक्सीजन है उनमें रिएक्शन होती है, ओके, एंड द ऑक्साइड्स आर फॉर्म। और ये जो ऑक्साइड्स है इट गेट मिक्स विद द रेन वाटर, comes down to the earth, and it simply supplies the nitrogen to the soil and improve its fertility. तो जब भी लाइटनिंग होती है, जब भी थंडर होता है, एट दैट टाइम नाइट्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन के बीच रिएक्शन होती है, देयर इज अ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड गैस दैट कम along with the rainwater and it get mixed with the soil and improve, there is an improvement in the fertility of the soil. Due to the energy of the lightning, the oxygen in the air is get converted into the ozone. तो जो lightning जब होती है, obviously charge are created. This O2 will get converted to O3, and this ozone gas protects us from the harmful ultraviolet radiation. तो ये जो O3 है, that is formed due to the lightning in the sky. This ozone will act as a layer and it will prevent the earth from the ultraviolet radiation of the sun. Let's talk about the lightning conductor. The lightning conductor is a device used for the protection from the lightning strike. So lightning conductor is always used for the protection from the lightning strike. Long copper strip with a one end fork. This one is at the highest part of the building and the other end is connected to the plate of cast iron. And the big pit is dug in the ground. Coal, salt are filled into the pit, iron plate and is placed upright to the pit. Simply इस केस में क्या चेक किया जाता है, कॉपर स्ट्रिप एंड अनदर एंड इज फोर्क. तो अदर एंड जो है स्ट्रिप का दैट इज कनेक्टेड टू द प्लेट ऑफ कास्ट आयरन. एक बड़ा सा ग्राउंड में पिट किया जाता है, कोल एंड सॉल्ट उसमें डाल दिए जाते हैं एंड simply that is connected to that rod so that whatever the excess of charge would be there that will be get absorbed through that. Now there is also provision of pouring water into it. This helps to spread the electric charge quickly into the ground. तो उसमें हम पानी भी डाल सकते हैं. You can able to see this is a tip and end how this copper strip is connected and that is given to this pit where the salt and the coal rock is present and this is a cast iron plate that is connected to this. आप इसमें water भी डाल सकते हैं so that the charge will spread throughout the soil. Now, whenever an electricity charge clouds passes over the building, the electric charge flowing towards the building are connected to the ground through the copper strip and it prevents the damage. So in this way, you can prevent the damage. And when such a lightning conductor earthing is fixed on a tall building, the surrounding area is also protected from the lightning. You will get more information about this on the protection from the lightning, okay, in the disaster management में हम detail में पढ़ेंगे. Now, why is the upper end of the lightning conductor is pointed? Why are the coal and salt are added to it? Okay, ये क्यों किया जाता है? Simply, why is the upper end of the lightning कंडक्टर इज पॉइंटेड. अभी ये पॉइंटेड क्यों होता है? बिकॉज अगर वो अपर एंड पॉइंटेड है सो दैट मोर number of concentrated charge will be concentrated at this point and it can be flow easily. So upper point pointed इसलिए रहता है so that the charge will get concentrated at the tip of the area and charge will flow directly to the earth. अभी ये coal and salt क्यों ऐड करते हैं? Simply it decrease the soil resistivity. बहुत ज्यादा charge वो soil में it will go inside the earth. At that time it will reduce the soil resistivity and that's why coal and salt is added. This is the reason. Now, lightning conductor is a device used to protect the building from an effect of lightning. So it is simply for the protection. A lightning conductor is made up of thick strip of metal, usually of copper. The top end of the lightning conductor is pointed like a sharp spike and it is fixed above the highest point of the building. It will hit top lightning conductor and electrical energy passes safely through the metal strip. Now, usually lightning conductor have a pointed end because as body narrow, the charge accumulated per unit surface area. So spherical and pointed end object have a more density charge. So pointed and end accept more charge than the round object. So simply it increases the concentration of the charge, and that's why the end is sharp. Now, earthing resistance is not the resistance electrode. The earthing resistance is not same at all. Value of earthing resistance depends upon the soil resistivity. And actually, the major earth resistance is not only the resistance of the electrode, it is a combined resistance ashore. So, if the soil resistance is higher, the fault color current cannot dissipate to associate. So, in just to improve the conductivity and soil resistivity reduce karega, that's why it is coal and salt is added. This is the reason that we have discussed earlier. Now, how it works? How salt and charcoal works to improve the earthing resistance? Coal and charcoal is made up of carbon, which is a good conductor that can minimize the earth resistance. Salt used as an electrolyte to form a conductivity between the electrode, generally GI pipe or a plate. Coal and earth with the humidity, and sand has so a form of porosity to cycle the water and humidity around the mixture. Whole purpose of providing the earthing is to discharge the leakage of current. मतलब किसी भी चार्ज मतलब लीकेज करंट का लीकेज नहीं होना चाहिए, and there would be a better conductivity. So layer of charcoal and salt helps to maintain low resistance for earth fault current, and because of the ionic behavior of salt and charcoal they will maintain the moisture content. तो वो moisture content maintain करते हैं, they reduce the soil resistivity. So in this way, we have briefly talked about the static electricity. We have talked about the how the electricity is produced by the friction, how the electricity is produced by the induction. We have talked about the simply the gold leaf experiment. We have also discussed about the how you can prevent the buildings from the lightning. We have talked about the lightning strike. So in this way, we have successfully completed this chapter. Thank you.